Hi guys, today I'm here to do a get ready with me. Some of these are new products, some not so new, but I felt like putting on a deep lip color. Maybe we'll call this a fall get ready with me. Just wanted to play with some makeup and hang out essentially. So let's go ahead and get started. So before we get started, I thought I would show you these on my face. Like I've mentioned, I still have a lot of color from vacation, so most of the foundations that I plan to review do not match me right now, so I thought this might be helpful. This one here is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie in TG7. If you watch my most recent monthly makeup basket, I'll link to that down below, but a lot of these products are from that. This is the Fenty Hydrating Foundation in 320. I'm thinking 320 is a better match over 310. It's just so yellow. Then this is the Charlotte Tilbury Foundation in shade 9 Cool. And then we have the Kevyn Aucoin Foundation Balm in 10.5, the FB. That looks really neutral. I think that would be a good match, but I also think I'm gonna go with the Pure one today just because it's more warm. Feels like these shades will never match me, but I don't know. And also once you get concealer and bronzer on, it makes such a difference. You know, this one is just like, it's near gray, the Kevyn Aucoin. First, however, I'm going to prime. I'm going to use the Prime and Fine from Catrice. This is their Keep Me Matte. If you haven't seen, they do stock Catrice now at Shoppers Drug Mart online and in store. And in store, they seem like they're stocking some of the new stuff, which I think is pretty exciting. This feels nice. I was hoping it wouldn't be like a super thick silicone-y primer. It has some nice slip to it. I feel like mattifying primers have come a long way, or just primers in general. Like I've always hated primers, but I think I was just using the wrong ones. Like the frickin' Smashbox primer that we all have from like Sephora. But this feels nice. So like I said, using the Pure foundation, I think this one comes in 100 shades, which is amazing. But do any stores actually stock the 100 shades? You know what I mean? So you can actually test it out. But I will, like I said, review all of these. But I think this is going to be the best match for me right now. It's on the yellow side, but I think it looks good. And I'm using, this is a Liz Wattier sponge. So what's new with you guys? I feel like I pre-filmed a bunch before I went away. So I haven't like filmed that much lately, and I vlogged last week, so that kind of felt like it doesn't really feel like filming when I'm vlogging. But I've really been loving to vlog, honestly, especially with like Emily and Rue, and I know a lot of you are enjoying that cat content too. If you're not a cat lover, my apologies. If you're not a cat lover, you probably are not subscribed to my channel, honestly, or you just watch the beauty videos. But I don't know, I've just been loving to do my weekly, like I call it a weekly vlog, but I really do a vlog a month. But I think I want to do some more, and although it's not like my most watched video, I just really enjoy vlogging, and I'm able to talk about so much more stuff. Like I have my What I Eat in a Day series now, but I still talk about like food there, or weight loss, or like I had a knee injury. And obviously like Emily and Rue would just like create endless hilarious content, and I'm documenting it for myself, so I figured I might as well show you. I had I think 3 people say to me the statement, if Emily and Rue had a reality show, I would watch it. Or like people saying like, I've never been like so invested in like 2 cats I don't even know before, which I just think is quite funny. I'm also very invested. But yeah, this looks good. I think I didn't put a ton on my face. You can build up for more coverage, but I think I got like a nice medium coverage. I'm going to color correct under my eyes. This is one of my favorite color correctors. I've actually used up an entire one and repurchased. It's the NYX Dark Circle Concealer. It's kind of one of their classic older products, but just a little bit under the eyes. It doesn't need to be like a whole, you know, Instagram clown face. Remember that trend? But just a little bit in the corners where I actually need the color correction. For my concealer, I'm going to be using a kind of a newer one. This is the Maybelline Super Stay. But yeah, if you haven't been keeping up with the vlogs and you are curious about Emily and Rue, things are going good. They're definitely still fighting, but things are much better, and actually it kind of worked out for the best. But when we have been keeping them separate for the most part, if I left the house for like 20 minutes, I might leave them separate, but I was just really, really nervous. So when we went away to Antigua, obviously we had to leave them here, and I had booked the Antigua trip when we thought we weren't getting Emily. I wouldn't have booked it otherwise, just because the timing wasn't great. But our cat sitter actually left them together, and then when we came back, we were like, okay, well, I mean, they're still alive, because if it was up to us, we probably would have left them separate for so much longer. And it was really hard because we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. We don't have a ton of space to be like quarantining cats. So yeah, it's probably for the best that we were kind of tossed into that situation. We came back, everybody was still alive, and Rue actually was less upset. Like, you know what she's like when we get back from vacation, and she just yells at us for like 7 days straight. She still yelled a little bit, but she was nowhere near as upset as she normally is. So I think having Emily around helped, even though maybe they're not best friends. It was like somebody was there at least. And I know that our cat sitter actually came and spent like so much time with her, with both of them, because he loves Emily and Rue so much. So he knew that he was actually spending good time with her. So it was really good because she had lots of people to hang out with her. And I felt so bad leaving Emily when we had just gotten her. For highlighter, I had pulled this guy out to use in my monthly makeup basket. So why don't we use it? This is the Hello Halo from Wet n Wild in Goddess Glow. But yeah, things are definitely going better. Rue seems to be actually trying to play with Emily, which I would have never expected, but Emily is never interested in playing. She's like chasing her around, and then Emily's like but even when they do get in a scrap, it only lasts for a second, and then they just go back to like chilling. I mean, they're not like cuddling. If I have the heater on, or if they're in the sun, they'll get really, really close together, which is good because they have a mutual love for heat and the sun. This is actually a very nice highlighter. I never hear anybody talking about these anymore, but there's like no glitter in this one. It has a really nice natural glow. Then for my blush, this is actually new to me. Where is it? This is one from one of the Sephora sets, which I will be reviewing these. It's from the brand Kaja or Kaya. It's in the shade Feisty, and it's one of those blushes where you like stamp it on your face. It's a little bit silly, but kind of fun, I guess. Stamping. Could be good for Halloween too. Let me blend this quickly. I had to stop and take a little thumbnail there. Okay. It's pretty, and I'm glad that it's kind of a pink shade because most of my cream blushes are like orangey peachy, which we all know is my fave. Nice and light. And I mean, you don't need to use that sponge either. You can obviously use a brush or something. To set my under eyes, using the Makeup Revolution Bacon Blot, obviously. It's interesting because as a YouTuber, you try to find new products or try to talk about new things because people are asking you about new things, but then I also want to find that fine line of also using things that I really love, and not just talking about something and then stopping talking about it and saying like, oh, I love it, and then you never see it again, even if I am using it off camera. But the thing is, I'm gonna use this powder because I realized, like, I don't know if I've ever used this. Maybe a while back. The Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. I've been using the powder foundation a ton. This one is in translucent medium. But I also get really annoyed, and I find this mostly with like really big YouTubers. They'll use the exact same products in every video. Like, they'll post a video once a month and it's literally the same products that they use in the video before. So it's like, I get that you like that and you can count on it to make you look good, but I don't know, it's just a fine line of finding that balance. But I don't think like using the same under eye powder over and over is boring, and I mean, I'll switch eventually. But just a lot of my favorite under eye powders are loose, and that one is pressed. So let me move you in for the eyes. I'm gonna be using also Too Faced. This is the Gingerbread Extra Spicy, and they just sent this to me, and I thought the colors looked super fun and super fall-y. Does it smell? Oh, I don't know if it's supposed to smell, but it smells like Play-Doh. Kind of that like salty Play-Doh smell. Who didn't used to eat Play-Doh is my question. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia primer. I got this as like a sample in a recent Sephora order. I thought it was a great sample because you only need a tiny bit of this at a time, and I have been liking it. So I'm gonna start out with the shade In a Pinch. And happy belated Canadian Thanksgiving. I'm filming this the day after Thanksgiving, but it's probably not going to go up for like maybe a week, so it's a very belated greeting. In Canada, we have Thanksgiving in October versus American is end of November sometime around Black Friday, which is so close to Christmas. I don't know if I would prefer that or not. I think it's nice to have a little holiday in October, but I think you have a holiday in October in the States too. It also depends province to province. I think all over Canada we get Thanksgiving off. Well, it depends on your job, of course. But then like when I lived in Newfoundland, we had Remembrance Day in November, and you don't get that in Ontario unless you like work for a bank or the government, I think. I don't know. I work from home, so I work every day and holidays don't matter. So I don't even know why I'm talking about this. There's so many beautiful shades in here. I'm kind of perplexed on which direction I want to take it in. But I'm going to take a little bit of this one here, which is what? Hot Tamale, and put that on the outer corners. Pop it there. I feel like, however, some of the mattes in here are quite similar to those in the Just Peachy, which is good because I absolutely love the mattes in Just Peachy, but if you don't want to repeat shades, like I don't know that they're exactly the same, but they just kind of remind me of those vibes, but a little bit deeper. There's also just so many palettes out there. It's such palette overload. In compare, like there's tons of foundations, there's tons of blushes, there's tons of everything, but for some reason with palettes, it really starts to feel like overload. Let me know what palette like got you the most excited over the past couple months, like, and why. Was it like the brand? Was it the selection of shades? Was it a collab? You know, like what got you really pumped up? Or was it nothing, potentially? So I'm gonna take a combination of the Hot Tamale, which I just put on the outer corner, with I think In a Pinch, which is what I started this look with. And I'm taking more of the In a Pinch and just a dabble of Hot Tamale. And I talked about this in a recent Get Ready With Me, but we were chatting about colors on the lower lash line. So I think putting the In a Pinch, which is a little bit lighter, mixed in with the Hot Tamale will make it a little less kind of red and in your face. And I really put only a little on my brush, tapped it off, and this is a semi-fluffy small brush. So if you're afraid of putting colors on the lower lash line, maybe mix some shades together. And again, like I said in that video, it is a matter of just kind of getting used to it too. But to me, without the color on the lower lash line for a lot of looks, it just doesn't look as balanced. It can really make a big difference if you can kind of get on board with that look and just practice a little bit. And like, I'm not a perfectionist, so if I can do it. Just taking a fluffy brush, especially this part here, I tend to kind of forget, and it can look a little bit harsh or a little bit too messy, like this outer corner. So this For the Gram shade is actually a really interesting shade. It's kind of peachy, but has a little glitter in it, but I'm not going to use that today. I think I'm going to take this Spicy Mommy shade. Sorry, it was out of focus. And I'll attempt to use Candy Queen, but I think I'm going to take Spicy Mommy and kind of make it a more monochromatic look. And I didn't add anything extra to the lid, and I'm going in with my finger. So it's not totally monochromatic. I think you could make some really beautiful matte looks with this palette. I was tempted to go matte. This was a little bit more orange than the shade I have in my outer corner. I wasn't sure in just swatching this if it was going to become opaque on my lid. It swatched and just looked a little glittery, but it has some color in it. Let's see what Candy Queen looks like in here. It's very glittery. It's not normally what I would go for. I don't think I'm getting a ton of fallout, maybe a little bit. I'm going to kind of bring it onto the lid slightly. So I went ahead and added some black winged liner. Now for mascara, I'm going to use the Milani, the Violet One Lash Primer. I've really been liking this, and I'm going to use it in combination with the Covergirl Exhibitionist Uncensored. I did try this on its own in an Instagram tutorial, so I'll link to it down below, but I want to try it with the primer and see how it goes. I talked about this primer before. I like it. You know how much I love my L'Oreal primer. I find this to be comparable, but a lot comes off on the brush. Like just then I was trying to go really light and I still got a lot on my lashes, so be mindful of that if you do try it out. The actual formula is great. And let's try it with this Covergirl mascara. I tend to really like Covergirl mascaras. Drugstore mascaras in general, I mean. There's so many good ones. But yeah, the problem with that primer is that if you get too much on your lashes, I guess I could have wiped them off, but then it makes it hard to coat them in mascara, which is very backwards, but I still actually really like it. So I like that Covergirl mascara. I don't love it. I think I like other mascaras from them better. I'm gonna go in with one of my all-time favorites just to try and add a little bit more length. I feel like that one doesn't add enough length. I'm in danger of very clumpy lashes here because I have so much product. Oh, gave myself a beauty mark. Rimmel Wonderlust? Wonderfully Real. I like the Wonderlust too though. And I've been skipping lower lash mascara, but I think I'm going to put just a smidge on today. And then for my brows, I'm going to use this from Kokie. It is their brow mascara. This is the clear. My camera cut me off and I don't know where, but they're available at Walmart in the US. And I find with brow mascaras that the brushes have gotten so small, and I like a bit of a bigger brush, something that's actually going to coat all of my brow hairs. I'm not looking to like create new hairs necessarily, and this seems to have a really nice brush on it. So I'm not totally sure on the hold and the formula just yet, but so far I really like that brush. I have a big grouping of freckles where that mascara was. I think some new freckles from my trip. So I was just trying to wipe it off and I got the mascara off, but these are just freckles here. For bronzer, I'm going to use this one from Too Faced. It is their Gingerbread Tan, and it's got a little gingerbread man on it, but I assume his white will disappear. I'd say that's just an overspray. It looks like it's a bit of a shimmery bronzer, which is generally not my preference, but some are actually good. Yeah, it's gone. But it looks like a very warm bronzer, and I'm excited that it's actually going to work for me because holiday bronzers almost never do, like in palettes or special edition ones or whatever it is, they're almost never dark enough. It is a super warm bronzer, which I don't mind. Especially because my face is a little bit yellow and this is bringing in a little bit of like redness in a weird way. That's good. For my blush, again, this was one that was mentioned in my monthly makeup basket. One of their Jolie blushes in the shade Cheeky Pink. I think this is going to become a favorite blush of mine, potentially. It's got like just enough pink, not too warm, not too cool. Okay, so this is a bit of a risk, but let's try it. I have the Sweet Cheeks Glow Creamy Powder Blush, but it's kind of like a highlight from NYX. It's in Silence is Golden. What's gonna happen when I put this on my face? Hopefully not straight up yellow, because I've got another video to film after this. Oh, she is pleasantly surprised. It looks like when you swatch it heavily on your hand, it has a pretty yellow look to it, but I guess when you diffuse it on your face a little bit, and this brush is a really great highlighter brush. It's one of my faves from Morphe. The name has come off of it. It's R something, I think, but that's actually very pretty. I'm glad I tried. I meant to use this in the beginning, but it's the Ole Henriksen Lucky Pucker Lip Scrub. It smells like apple cider, kind of. Can't talk and scrub at the same time. It has like scrubby bits, but also like a balmy texture. I'm just gonna leave that on my lips for a second, and then I'm gonna spray my face with the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. Picked up a mini from Sephora. And then for my lips, Fenty has released some minis for the holidays, which I think this is their first time doing it, and they're all very cute. So this is the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint in Underdog, which is a gorgeous shade. It has the same nice applicator. I do find, because it's so stubby here, when you're putting it on the mirror, it almost like blocks your view of applying it, but it's a gorgeous shade. So there you go. Here is the finished look. One thing I really like about those Stunna lip paints is they don't take a ton of time to dry down. Some liquid lipsticks like take forever to get matte, and these get matte quite quickly. Especially with a dark color like this, like you don't want things slipping around because it get very, very messy. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of fall themed get ready with me. Let me know down below what your favorite thing is to break out for fall. Like the deep lip for me is always so exciting. Not that you can't wear it all year round, but anyways, I will be doing a favorite fall lipsticks video too, so stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!